Mr. Owoyemi, it's nice to have you around.
Thank you. Good morning.
So Nigeria, with a production of between 280 and 300,000 tons annually, currently ranks as the world's seventh largest cocoa producer. It used to be number one. So would you blame it on the oil boom?
Well, first of all, I would like to say I'm not sure Nigeria is number seven. I think we might be speaking from different data, even though I'm not sure the data is well, that there's a place to get the right data for this because it's difficult to get the actual volume Nigeria exports out there. The data that we still see that we speak with puts Nigeria at about fourth in the cocoa chain, even though it's still the small 270 to 300K volume. So 70 is a bit strange to me because I'm not sure we are doing that badly.
All right, so go ahead. Go ahead. I like to be sure whether fourth or third or fifth or sixth or seventh. I mean, we are still looking at data right here. But then Nigeria used to be number one, and that is even the big issue right now. So a lot of people blame it on the oil boom that we recorded in the 60s and the 70s. But then I'd like to take your perspective on this.
Yeah, like again, I won't put it to the oil boom alone. I would put it as a lack of investments in the farming areas, and that's one of the reasons why all these things has happened, where we have production declining. Attention has not been put to farming by people that should lead this charge. And again, the oil boom in the eastern part of the country and majorly in the eastern part of the country don't stop cocoa production in the west. It's either the work of the government in the southwest part of Nigeria, which majorly in the 1960s, back then used to be the highest producer of cocoa in Nigeria, and before the other southern part, like the Cross River states, start to also come up with a lot of volume of cocoa. And it's about people doing activities and engaging in activities that increase production. It's not really about the boom. When you look at where the boom actually comes from, really, it's maybe the oil is maybe in the eastern part majorly. It's not like there's this oil well in the southwest part of the country where cocoa comes from. So I think it's about a lot of people neglecting what should be done to make farming attractive, and people not being able to find farming attractive has really increased the decline of cocoa. So I won't put it at the oil boom, because the oil boom is in a different part of the country majorly, and the cocoa production is in another part, which these don't align in any way. So different people doing different things. It's about people engaging in activities that increase production.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so according to stats, we know that Cote d'Ivoire, is number one, doing over millions. I mean, according to reports, we're talking probably 2 million tons. Ghana, a whole lot it's doing in terms of production. And Nigeria is saying that it wants to best Ghana, at least when it comes to production. But then you cited a couple of challenges. When you look at the cocoa sector critically, can there be a resurgence in cocoa production?
There can be, clearly. And I looked at where this 500,000 tons conversation came from. He came from a permanent secretary of, or a director that represented the permanent secretary of the investment and trade part of the government in some events. The person that made these comments, I'm sure maybe he made it in passing. I'm not sure the person has a whole lot of plans to make this happen. But because I've been in this industry for about 10 years now, actively trading and all. And when I heard the 500,000 tons conversation, it's very doable. And it's just that let's look at where we are now. Are we able to get there now with what we have on ground? I'm not sure. The things we need to get there is what we need to start to discuss, not put the number that, oh, we want to surpass Ghana, we want to do this. The biggest issue has come from lack of investment in the farming areas, no credit to people to buy resource to build lands. Credit is so difficult. The roads to the farms are so bad. People cannot get tools to do mechanized farming. People and farmers are not being trained. They are not literate. Even the people that should also train them, like the local buying agents, the factors, the brokers that deal with the farmers, they are struggling with payment issues because they might even supply the cocoa to an exporter or local buying agents and they don't get paid. All these things strangle the appetite to do the trading, the farm area. So there are a lot of discussions to have before we can think about this, but there can be a clear resurgence if the public-private align on their priorities and start to work to align the priorities and execute what needs to be done.
Okay, so we are looking at a $40.5 billion investment. So you've highlighted a couple of challenges. Do you think that can be enough to transform Nigeria's cocoa industry now?
I didn't get that. Please, if you could repeat that.
Yes, so I'm saying that there is a $40.5 million investment that, according to government, has been secured with some certain international partners. Now, that money is expected to bring about some sort of transformation in Nigeria's cocoa industry. But then, by your own calculation, do you think that will solve issues around mechanized farming and some other issues is actually constituting the stumbling block?
$40.5 million would not do any sort of change in the cocoa sector. It could do change in some businesses depending on the scale of business they do. But $40.5 million investment in the cocoa sector can just be set for a particular business, not the entire cocoa value chain. The entire cocoa value chain needs a whole lot of investment in farming and trade. The biggest sort of financing needed in the business is even what you need to trade with to buy the goods needed to do the trades that needs to be done. Because when you pay for the farmers' goods and the local buying agents' goods, these funds trickle down to the farm areas, which increase production. Companies in Nigeria, they do trades of over $6, $7, $8 billion in cocoa trade per annum. So I can tell you clearly, $40 million is just it's a minute part of the investment needed to continue to boost production in the country. But I mean, it will still do a bit, it will have some impact somewhere, but the impact cannot really be felt. Every company would continue to do what's best for the business to increase capital, to continue to trade. And it's this capital that we trade with as cocoa exporters, processors that continues to have impact to increase production in every area where we trade. Because the moment you are able to pay for the goods, the farmer is able to buy fertilizers and do more trades and continue to farm and keep the farming areas well to ensure that they can have the right harvest. So $40 million is very basic and minute in the sort of investment needed in the cocoa industry. And this investment is not grants. It's how people can access credit capital to continue to drive their business while also earning margins and also still repaying back the creditors when due.
And of course, we know that cocoa prices have actually hit about $12,000 per ton. I mean, it will only be wise for Nigeria and its farmers to cash in on this and tick all the boxes in terms of what needs to be done to actually scale up production capacity for the country. Well, Olasunkanmi Owoyemi, MD Sunbeth, a global concept, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the show.